Hello and welcome to GT Sports Minutes. Now, usually what I would do now is you'd see me scroll over to sport and then we'd look at the daily races. That's the given. That tends to be what happens. But we're not going to be doing that. What we're going to be doing, as you can see, I'm going to load up a race. Now, this race was the daily race, but it's been a couple of weeks since the video was made. I did try and get Josh, who was the driver of this race. He's the youngest member here at GTSM. I tried to get him on with the commentary, but unfortunately, just life gets in the way and we couldn't sync up. So I'm doing the commentary for him. And to be honest with you, I'm very happy to do it. This was a phenomenal race, and you're gonna see why. So, like I said, this was daily race C at Monza. 10 laps. It's a long race, and on top of that, you've got your fuel and tyre work to think about. That's a lot to think about. He's starting all the way down in 18th place, and there's only 19 people, so he's right at the back of this. And for anyone who's driven here at Monza, you know the first part that you're going to come up to, the first turn, is a very, very difficult chicane. And it normally sees a lot of people get wiped out. So let's have a look here. Let's see if anything happens. And there we go. Straight away, someone going straight through, a couple are going off, guys getting penalties. Carnage in turn one. And Josh somehow avoiding all of that. Is he going to avoid this? Yes, he is. Luckily, the guy ghosted. I saw that coming. He ghosted. Josh could go through. He managed to avoid all that carnage and make his way up into 13th place. Now he's going to run a little bit overboard here, as he took just a tiny bit too much speed into that corner, didn't brake early enough. Somehow though, and I'm not sure how, I'm going to have to ask him how he did this, he didn't get a penalty, unlike the guys flying off to the side, and this guy as well. This race so far is bizarre. Everybody's going off track, getting penalties, and Josh probably, well, he could well be the youngest person in this lobby, showing people how good he truly is. He's avoided all the carnage, he's avoided the penalties, he's making up places left, right and centre. I mean, look, he's going to make another move here, taking him up into 9th place. He started in 18th and he's now into 9th, and we've not even finished the first lap, and it looks like there's an issue with the Mazda. I don't know what's going on, they just didn't seem to want to go, and that's going to hand Josh another place. So he's now up into 8th place. He's made up 10 positions before the end of the first lap. Now, for anybody to do that, that is unbelievable. Absolutely amazing driving. And when I watched this, when he did it, when I made the video for Josh, and I watched this back, I couldn't believe just how well he'd started this race. He's now up into 6th place as we start lap 2. Unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. So, we said that it was daily race C, as Josh is going to go for a move here through the first chicane. He's going to get this done. That's a Mustang in the way. Is he going to outpace him? I'm not sure, but he's made the move. He's up into 5th. Can he hold it off? We'll find out. So like I said, daily race C, Monza, 10 laps. Fuel and tyre work are on, as that Mustang is going to come back now. It's very quick in a straight line, that Mustang. Very, very quick. The Alpha isn't all that quick in a straight line. Not especially compared to that Mustang, where it looks like Josh might do a good job here fending him off through the corners, because that Alpha is very, very good through the corners. The Mustang, that's where its downfall is a little bit. So if Josh can just make these corners nice and crisp, he might be able to hold off that Mustang. So we'll find out how that goes. So Josh is now going to think about his fuel and his tyre work. What's his strategy going to be? Now, there's a few different strategies you can really go for. You can say, I'm going to make my fuel and tyres last the entire race. But in doing that, you reduce the weight of your car because you use more fuel, which means you can go faster. But then you're also running on very, very worn tyres, which will slow you down. You can either say, I will make the fuel last, but change the tyres, which means pitting. So you'll lose a little bit of time in the pits, but will you gain more time by changing your tyres? Not sure. That's an interesting way to go. And then you've got use as much fuel as you possibly can, pit for new tyres, pit for more fuel, and then just absolutely floor it. what's the best option? How's this gonna pan out? Well, we're gonna find out as we now are on lap 3, and Josh is all the way up into 5th place. Again, he started in 18th and he's into 5th now. So coming through the first chicane now, and he's already making ground on the guy in 4th. He goes a little bit wide on that first chicane though, sorry. But the guy ahead of him, he can see him, which is always good. You know, he's not too far away. Josh has got him in his sights. And if Josh just does some excellent cornering skills, like drive these corners really, really quick, as we know he can do. Anyone who watches the championship, and you'll know just how good of a driver Josh really is. As I say that, he almost makes a mistake, but again, he completely catches that and he corrects it. That's what I need. He's a very, very good competitive racer. And he's going to take a position here as somebody else goes off track though. So now he's into 4th place. So he's avoided the penalties, he's avoided mistakes, like big mistakes, which has sent him off track. He's avoided everything, and he's now up into 4th place on the 3rd lap. So there's basically 7 laps left to go at the end of this. Where are we thinking he's going to come? Now, for anyone, like I keep saying, anyone who's seen any of the championship races or any of the races previous to that with Josh in it, you know he's very, very good at biding his time. He won't do anything stupid. He won't see an almost opportunity and just go for it, because he's very clever. He'll see that opportunity, he'll weigh up the risk, and if he knows it's not worth it, he won't go for it. He will bide his time, and he's won many a race in doing that. And he's also extremely good at making his tyres last. Now, I know you can't see his tyre work at the minute, or his fuel, or anything like that. I've saved that to the end of the race, and we're going to see how his tyres are. We're going to see if he pits, we're going to see how much fuel is used, we're going to see everything. He's very, very good at keeping his tyres good and saving fuel, as well as still attacking. That's what has always been kind of made me, in a way, I'm in awe of that. You know, how can you attack vigorously and save fuel at the same time? It's very, very hard to do, and yet Josh somehow manages to do that quite well. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes on about this on this track. Okay, so he's got the Mustang behind him now. He does have a penalty, but it is a very, very fast car. But the Mustang gone off, and that is going to give Josh a massive bit of relief, because he would have seen that Mustang in his mirror, and he would have known coming down the straight that Mustang would have very easily caught up. But luckily he did have a penalty anyway, so that could have helped. None of that matters though. The Mustang wipes out, and that gives Josh some breathing. So coming around now, it's 3rd chicane really, isn't it? And Josh again taking as much speed as he can through there. He's setting his sights on the guys up ahead. Now they're not too far. Oh, and Josh just getting a penalty actually. That would be for track limits. So he did run a little bit wide coming out the chicane, picking up a half-second penalty. But you know, not too much to worry about. That, you know, you can lose a lot of speed, a lot of time, at Monza if you have a penalty, because of where you serve the penalty. You serve it on the long straight. So as soon as you hit that straight, and then you're instantly slowed down for a penalty, you just can't get the momentum back, and it can cripple you. But luckily, he's got a decent gap behind him, so it shouldn't really make too much of a difference. It might just bring the guy in 5th more into the game. So we're going to jump ahead now, as you can see, to the end of lap 5. He served his penalty, and he's still in 5th place. Now, if you look on the mini-map, the guy in 5th is right behind him, but the guys in 2nd and 3rd, as you can see, they're in the pits. They've gone in, they've decided they need tyres. So Josh is now going to move up, is he? Into 4th. There he is. Now, 3rd, they come out the pits ahead of him. He's catching now, but they're on fresh tyres. Josh hasn't pitted. That's very important to know at this point. Josh has not pitted, so his tyres are starting to turn now, as the guy who's come out the pits in the Aston Martin with fresh tyres completely messes up the first chicane and gets a penalty for the trouble. So that might just hand Josh another position as we get around to the penalty serving zone, just before the end of the second sector. Yeah, that's right. So going through the second chicane now, and again, Josh biding his time. Didn't do anything stupid. Didn't go for a massive lunge. He doesn't need to, because that penalty that the Aston Martin has to serve is going to gift him that position. A very, very smart way gaining the position. Let the penalty system do it for you, because there's no point in doing something stupid, going for a massive lunge, and then getting a penalty yourself. No point. So Josh here is going to use the Aston Martin speed before he goes to give him a little bit more of a boost. And you can see there, that Aston Martin is not slow. But look how much momentum he has lost because of that penalty. And that's what I was talking about. You lose so much time and speed serving a penalty on this track. It's just not worth it. You may as well drive a little bit better and not get a penalty. Saying that, is Josh going to get one here? He's got away with that. He actually got away with that one. Again, I need to find out how. He did that at the very beginning. I need to find out how. I'd like that trick. So anyway, coming round the last bend now on lap 6. So we've got 4 laps to go. Laps 7, 8, 9, and 10. 4 laps to go. Now again, Josh not going into the pits. Look at that Aston Martin. Look at the speed of Aston Martin. Now that Aston Martin has got fresh tyres. He's going to be able to outbrake and outturn now, because Josh's tyres are starting to turn. Now we're on lap 7, so he's done so well. Just fending off the Aston Martin, who's going to go sideways. Is he going to grab it? I'm not sure. The Aston Martin, with the fresh tyres, making the mistake there. Josh, with the worn tyres, somehow still gripping onto this track and putting in some good racing, defending like crazy against a faster, stronger car with fresh tyres. That's just how good Josh actually is at this game. Superb driving. So we're on lap 7, and we're now going to jump ahead to the end of lap 9. And it's important to know again, as we come on to the final lap, Josh has not pitted. He went for the no stop, and seeing everybody else pit, that is a bold choice. That is a very bold choice, and you will see why at the end of this lap. You will see exactly why it was a bold choice. His tyres now screaming. He will be losing so much speed. You can see his times on the right, they're getting slightly slower every single lap because of how much grip has been lost off them tyres. Now the upside, he's used a lot of fuel, so he's a little bit faster, but that can make this a little bit more dangerous, because the faster you go, the more grip you need, and when you've got no grip, the faster you go, the dangerous it is. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see if he can bring this race home for a podium. He is currently in 3rd. That's a podium, and I think anyone will say from starting in 18th to a podium in 3rd is a fantastic race. Anyone who does that deserves a clap, in my opinion. What an absolute fantastic, because it isn't just about pure luck about racing. Everything comes into it. Tyre work, fuel, everything. You have to know your strategy to a T, and Josh knows it, and he has pulled it off perfectly as we come on now to the back straight with just 1 turn to go, which is a long right-hander, which could be his undoing, as we talked about his tyres. Now look, there's his tyres. Look at his tyres. They're screaming. How has he managed to do this with them tyres? I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. Just superb drive by our youngest member here at Gran Turismo Sportsmates. So there we go anyway. Daily Race C by Josh in the 4C. Phenomenal race. Absolutely phenomenal. So that's all from us here at GT Sportsmates. I don't even know where we are. That's all from us here at GT Sportsmates. And we will see you all next time.